Hello, everybody! Welcome once again to Zeitgeist, the Gears of Revolution, Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition campaign. I am the Dungeon Master tonight, Redbeard. With me tonight is Sun King's Roll for Initiative, Ale with Cinnamon and Lactose, the official beer of Gen Con. Tasty. Also with me tonight is Sam playing Jack.
Enjoy the Olympics when they come around. There's a lot of really beautiful stories and human drama that take place there that's really heartwarming to watch. Yeah.
There's also that hot Clark Kent dude.
That hot what dude?
Clark Kent looking dude.
Oh yeah, the
Horse or
pommel
whatever.
horse guy.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Turkish Gun Dad.
No, James isn't
No,
into that. He's into pommel horse guy.
Yeah, he's hot.
Catherine playing Mina.
She's
Also with half, well, my beer's half gone.
she's more into the Turkish sniper.
What? What?
You tell me that guy's not attractive?
I haven't seen the two guys you're talking about in comparison.
Oh my god.
While they do that, James is playing Elfairy.
Yar, or whatever.
And Phil is playing Aloysia.
Yeah, I've
Welcome
seen
to
that.
everyone's favorite game show. How many shots of espresso is Philip on?
9.
I mean, I usually don't say 12, but it usually ends up being 12. So I'll say 12.
I'm gonna go lowball it today in 7.
9.
Somebody already said 9.
Oh. 14.
The answer was 10.
Yeah.
I recently found out, or just really out of the very rare occasion where I decide to pick something spontaneously off a menu, got an iced latte instead of a hot latte,
Uh-huh.
and that has one
This is
fewer
100
shot
fucking
in it.
degrees outside.
So yeah, it was lower than usual. And yeah, it was really good. It was honestly the best iced latte I'd ever had, which in my experience is usually incredibly mid. Because the flavor doesn't usually balance out well in an iced latte. You usually get a real concentration of the syrup flavor. But when they do theirs, they put the syrup in the milk
Mm-hmm.
and then do a very short steaming of the milk.
Interesting.
So you get so the syrup flavor is tied to where the milk is in the drink. And when they do a flash, like just a very quick steaming, just to give it a little bit of volume, it creates a really nice texture.
This has been Coffee Chat with Phil. Tune in next week.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely. So anyway, we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons tonight. I think,
We are?
just for a change of pace.
Oh.
How refreshing.
Our spies have infiltrated the Obscurati.
I guess that's one word for us.
It's also a inaccurate description of what we've accomplished so far, but continue.
You are infiltrated.
We are seamlessly integrated.
While attending this gathering of the Obscurati, we have learned many things, such as their overall plan to rearrange the planes into
Evil plan to save the world.
one of several configurations. We've learned what those configurations are.
3 of them are dumb.
We've learned that somebody was murdered last time.
Got it.
And at this point, it is about 10 p.m. And you've been informed. Nicodemus came in and investigated the crime scene briefly. He said there was no soul no longer present for the man who was murdered. And he said he wants everybody to travel in pairs. He's going to try to meet with everybody one-on-one to see what he can figure out. But for the next, and then there's going to be a preliminary vote to get a gauge of the temperature of the room in about 2 hours. So you guys have that long to investigate, sneak about, ask Hobnob, whatever you're interested in. There are also some what are known as there are minor factions that also have portrait room demos of some other worlds that are more like tech tests than real candidates.
Okay.
Question: is the murder our problem?
Right? It's a bad guy's killing a bad guy.
Because it sounds like Nicodemus, and presumably like other people there who are more staff than us, which are like air quote resources, would be involved in that, right?
Yeah.
There's
guards, there's
like,
higher up officers.
I imagine Leon, aka Grappa, actually might get pulled into it.
Yeah, perhaps.
Because he seems to be one of their,
inner circle kind of.
Yeah, well, the guy who gets stuff done, right? It seems like he's been an intermediary, which means he has a decent view of the whole picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then can you remind us the name of the person who was murdered? Or
Ramos Zoltan.
Ramos Zoltan. And during our time, do we one of the people who was put in our group was a world ecologist? Do we know what his what does he do, or who was he? Do we know?
You're asking about Zoltan
Question.
or about your
Yes,
campaign?
Zoltan.
You might have heard a bit about him. There's not like a lot of rumors.
Okay.
He's from Dracker. You don't know of he wasn't like a bolsterous guy that somebody would have wanted dead or anything.
It could just be either. Yeah, the reason for wanting him dead is unknown to us. Right. Theoretically, there could be people here who have a personal axe to grind against someone else who's here because they did not knowing that they were a member of the Obscurati. But as far as we're aware, the reason for him not being alive anymore is not obvious.
If you want to give me some sort of check for I don't know what the closest thing to streetwise is nowadays. Just charisma or
maybe. Well, I was gonna say history for knowing any kind of I feel like almost this is geopolitical of who doesn't like who.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, no, you haven't heard about anything about him.
Okay.
So all we need to do is make sure that no one thinks we did this, because we didn't. We don't want to get pulled into unnecessary interrogations.
Or more importantly, that we are who they think we are. Which I need to get a handle on that.
Yeah, you do, bud.
I'm working on it.
I can only say the sun baked your brain so long.
We're gonna have
I have an idea.
we're gonna have breakfast tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Where is Grappa in the room with us? He was kind of part
he's
of. Yeah.
usually trying to stick close to you guys.
Okay.
when he can.
Then I would like to. If we are currently, we have like 2 adjacent rooms, right?
Yeah.
As I recall.
Or 3 adjacent rooms.
Yeah. 3 adjacent rooms. Can I be in a room with Grappa, who has an amount of ability of tampering stuff down? I have an idea of trying the Gestalt again,
Okay.
and I think I thought of a way to make it more likely to work.
Okay.
I would like to cast Bane on myself. And to give myself minus 1d4 on saves.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, Philip. I was looking at a dog. You're what?
He's trying to give his inner self or outer
He's
self.
giving Ken Don a Bane, so that when
Yeah.
he tries to Gestalt, it'll be a little bit easier.
Yeah. And doing it
Okay.
in the privacy of our room, so if it still doesn't go well, it won't be in public sight.
Do you want to roll the d4 or shall I?
I'll roll the d4. -3. Mine's the hardest, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it is. But the flavor of it is just so good.
Well, we don't know what happened, what you rolled. We don't know what's going on. So you tell us how well it works.
No, I meant the flavor of his character fit
Oh,
Aloysius
yeah.
so well.
Yeah. Well, it's also weird that there are parts of this spell/ability that says you get to use any of the mental traits, but very specifically, this DC is determined by only 2 of them.
Yeah. That's how it
But-
goes.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Okay. So that would be. Yeah. So, you're sitting there, concentrating, trying to synchronize, while making sure that he doesn't take over again. You do feel like a wave start to crash against your mind, but Grappa steps in, and you feel like that wave start to decline, and you're able to overpower.
Okay.
You were in Gestalt.
Yay! Now, what does that do again? I just knew I wanted it.
can
Redbeard,
use-
I want to back up a little bit to back right when we got to the body, if that's okay.
Sure.
I forgot an ability I have.
Okay.
As soon as we got there, I would want to use my Intuit map. I'm aware of the terrain and features within 500 feet of me, as well as locations and basic physical features of every creature within 500 feet, unless they are specifically attempting to hide from me.
Okay.
Well, I
That'll
thought you
give me
were
an
just
idea.
using Find Murderer.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I'm assuming maybe the killer would be still hiding within 500 feet, but not necessarily hiding from me. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. You are now aware of every creature, probably in the whole house. I don't know what you want to do with that information.
Well, it's aware of the locations and basic physical features. So I
Okay.
want to know where everyone is relative to this body. Like who's closest, who's furthest, who looks like they're trying to hide, but since they're not trying to hide from me, I know where they are.
It doesn't seem like anyone's like hiding. I don't know what you define as hiding. Like nobody's in a room alone. At this point, this is between the sessions, which were held in the. I'm trying to remember what the freezer is. It was O. Yeah, so you're in here, and people were mostly would be mostly here. There's a few people spilling out into the hallway. There's there's like one group that's up in the library just because there wasn't enough room downstairs. There's a couple people that have like gone off to the hallways where they've got like the portrait portals set up.
Mhm. Is there anyone notable missing that might be like in one of those pocket dimensions? That like is so well known here that it would be obvious that it's weird that they're missing. Like
Give me an insight check.
Sure.
Oh, Gestalt only lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's basically a
Yeah.
Not 20.
I
Nice.
need to be this person fully right now and get access to the abilities that they can use.
Yeah. I thought it lasted a little bit. I thought it lasted longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just
Ilferi
doing
is
it constantly.
is pretty much permanent because his guy would have to roll a 1.
Or
Mina
a,
is
or a 20.
And not 20, yeah.
Or,
To
yeah.
get out.
Okay.
Mina has made an agreement and is just given up her
Mhm.
will entirely, I think, at this point.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And Jack, I don't know that we've gotten into how easy his is, but
No, I
I
think I
think
just
he just read the dossier and is trying his best.
dominated the guy.
yeah, I don't think you'd have any trouble gestalting.
Yeah.
You got a 20 insight.
No, I rolled it at 20 for a 29.
Yeah, nobody seems out of place or anything less than what you would expect.
Okay. All the ghosts are. How many ghosts are in the Ghost Council?
Uh, 25.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, that's lower than I expected.
There are 52 people here.
52
sorry.
creatures, ghosts or otherwise?
51.
Oh, not counting the guy that just died.
Well, yeah, the book assumes 7 PCs for whatever reason. So it's 4 PCs plus Zambria.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, I guess we
There's-
just kept the other
Playing
people
with an
from
old-fashioned
arriving.
cup.
Yeah. 24 nameless ghosts, 3 named ghosts. Oh, 52 officers, 68 total.
Ah. Oh, that's actually a good question.
Or I guess 67 being the there's only 5 PC. 66. 66.
66 people here. 25 are the Ghost Council. You said how many ghosts total though?
25 ghosts.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
sorry, 24 nameless ghosts, 3 named ghosts, so 27 ghosts.
27 ghosts.
That
Okay.
includes Amelia and
Mhm.
Skeletor.
Okay. So it seems that this murder happened a while ago. Like no one's actively trying to scramble away. Everyone's kind of where you'd expect them to be.
Yes.
So they used the cover of these presentations to kill this guy.
Somebody did say the last time they saw him was in session 3, which was like an hour and a half ago.
Mhm.
So there's your timeline.
Cool. Then we have an alibi. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, you guys were actively in the session with, well, I guess it unless it happened between sessions 3 and 4 is the only,
Mhm.
or before 4 and 5.
But as long as we have a clear alibi, we don't need to investigate this murder. We're not cops right now.
I guess one thing that you could note from your map session, there seems to be, like, most of the guards are stationed near exits or patrolling outside or at the portrait portals. But there does seem to be a there is a guard posted. Okay. West Wing, first floor. So in
T?
No, in somewhere in one of these rooms.
Okay, you said there was a guard there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, that ends my time traveling session to correct something I forgot.
Yeah.
Cool. So back to Aloysia's Gestalt.
Yeah, I'm writing down things like I want to know, thinking about any questioning that might come up, but also realizing I think something that I don't remember if we've talked about or overlooked. We've have in our possession these obscurati agents. We had them for a bit of time before this meeting. What do our rings say?
Oh yeah, good call.
I did make note of that.
Yeah, I was like, because like I'm over here in my little thing, like, okay, what questions or like what things am I noting down that I'm learning about the body and the person I'm in? Like, when was I first approached by the obscurati? What was my first task I did for them? What was the last thing I did for them? And then I was thinking, like, what's other things? Wait, rings. We have rings. What the fuck does my ring say?
That's much more practical than what I've been asking my guy.
Yeah.
What do you care about most? What would you hate to have torn away from you?
Yeah. So, yeah, what do our rings say? And then asking about, because you mentioned in the handout you gave me 2 obscurati names, and like, what do I know about those people? But let's get ring inscriptions first, because I know, as I recall, there was a notes page about what different rings have said.
Yeah, we have that.
There is a journal, but I also just put it in the chat.
Cool. Ooh, here. What? Agate ring, original band aware.
Original band aware is the inscription, and then prior to that is just a description of the ring.
Yep.
And the tier has to do with their tier and the organization.
Yeah. Is 5 the bottom or the top?
I'm
assuming the bottom.
There is no tier on the ring. Sorry. That information shouldn't be there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Well, cool. We don't fully have context, so.
Yeah. But I'm adding it into the.
Yeah.
Oh, opening Bruce doors. They just put my name as the B part of the OB.
Not the first
Lazy.
one. There's been others that have that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think, Bergerin.
Uh,
No. Okay, I need to ignore that part. Yeah,
What
the
are you
O.
doing?
Yeah, OBD, OBA, OB. Yeah, lots of OB.
they always start with an O and a B, and then there's a third letter,
Yeah,
but it's always 3 words.
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Observe blade agile. It sounds like a weird like what's your company's business or
Yeah.
mission statement?
Then what do I know of? Because these were 2 names mentioned. Octavia Sacerdote. What does Ken know about them? Okay. Another name was Caius Bergeron.
So Caius Bergeron was the one who funded and organized the expeditions to the Ziggurats.
Okay. So he's just like a capitalist business thing, or
He was involved with the Obscurati.
sure.
He was doing it in the name of.
Sure, but like how? I guess my question is, where is he getting? How was he funding this? Like, why does he have money? I guess is the question I'm asking.
I mean, there was definitely some capital coming from the Obscurati, but the expeditions also were funding themselves. They were bringing back artifacts.
Okay.
And
Thank
stuff
you.
like that.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, he's doing stuff for the Obscurati, but like, going back to the looking at names for rings, but like the Mayor Reed McBannon was, a mayor. Like, if I didn't know if Caius Bergeron was the Obscurati, what
sure.
would I say?
Yeah, you would say that he's a businessman, a philanthropist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trust fund baby.
And do I know his nationality?
He was a tiefling.
Oh, so
He was
Denoran.
Janoran.
And then Octavia Sacerdote.
Trying to remember exactly what her involvement is. She was.
I mean, if Ken doesn't know, also, because I only get to know what Ken knows.
Yeah. So she was involved. The name is familiar because the party encountered her while on the train.
Mm-hmm.
She's affiliated with the clergy, which is probably how Ken Dunn would know her. She's known to be deaf. And
I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember this NPC now.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably just through that Chris Leary connection is probably the best way that you knew her.
Okay.
And she was a friend of Luc Gier.
Ah. Okay. And then
she hasn't been seen since the party was stranded with her on the Isle of Odium, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Which is where Ashimashim 2 was.
Yeah. I just didn't. I was unaware that the party dragged any NPCs there.
She dragged
is a word.
We didn't take her. She brought herself.
She led a wild goose chase that ended.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then how was Ken recruited into the Obscurati? Was it just and if you don't have a specific can I just know? Say my character knows.
It seems like there's a lot of recruiting happening inside the clergy.
Okay.
So it seems to me like his motivation would be seeking knowledge, and this is an ancient organization that knows a lot of things.
I could see like the idea of Caius getting artifacts and stuff brought back, and Ken Dawn having access to a grand library of forbidden knowledge, being the one doing research for them because he himself was curious.
It also says in his background here, he was enticed to aid the obscurity because he was tired of simply preventing abuse of mystical lore, wanted to actively find ways of responsibly applying dangerous knowledge to some positive goal.
Gotcha.
So he's, somewhat benevolent in his pursuits, but definitely seems like a ends justify means kind of.
Yeah. Which I can respect. Okay. So basically just kind of go brisking through this guy's memories so I could answer questions is the main goal of this 5-minute jaunt. And then we'll see what happens later.
All right. Anything else anyone wanted to do in this free time?
Not really. Just kind of keep an eye on what's going on.
Actually, I guess how long was this downtime? You said it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe we do the Heroes Feast now.
I want to appear useful, but not actually be useful.
Is everyone okay with doing a Heroes Feast now for an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I think that'll work out.
So then we'll, instead of breakfast, we'll have lunch every day or whatever time it is.
It's 1 p.m. Or it's 11 p.m. at this point.
Oh. We will have
Waffle House.
midnight snacks. Heroes Feast, cast.
Dissolve a chalice.
Yep. So, everyone, you are cured of all diseases, cured of all poison, immune to being frightened. All wisdom saving throws are made with advantage. Your hit point max is also increased by 2d10, which I'll roll now.
Does that mean Ken's gonna have advantage on his wisdom saves?
No, we went over this.
Okay.
This is why I'm doing it.
Okay.
Everyone gets 6 temporary hit points.
Woo!
These benefits last for 24 hours. So every night at around midnight.
It's not just 6 temp hit points. Our hit point max is increased, right?
Yeah, sorry, you're right.
Okay.
Noted. Which is good because there we go.
After you guys finish your feast, Nicodemus is gonna find you as you're leaving your rooms. He's got 2 guards with him. Officers,
Wait, what?
What?
you're all officers. You're all obscure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
We're not
wait,
officers.
what?
Who's an officer around here? I don't see any officers.
Sorry, wrong.
Yeah. I actually didn't know that was a shared thing.
I've been meeting with everyone since discovering the murder downstairs, and I'd like a chance to meet with each of you one-on-one, if you'd allow it.
I mean, that seems reasonable. You know, I mean, you gotta, establish where everybody was and what's going on.
Why don't we start, Oskin? Let's
Sure thing.
let's head up to the top of the light tower.
Seems a little ominous, but all right, I get it. You want to be alone?
I don't think I have anything I can do. I'm gonna cast guidance on you.
Okay.
As soon
Walking.
as he steps outside, Nicodemus lights up a cigarette. And holds open a nice case to you.
You know, I'm actually trying to quit. I feel like it's, there's enough dragging me down that I just want to stay in top form.
Totally understand, he says, and tucks it away in his breast pocket.
Yeah, Nicodemus just have to worry. He gets new bodies when they run out.
So, how are you finding yourself here? Is it what you were expecting?
It's a little different. You know me. I'm used to more boots on the ground kind of work, but it's interesting being up here among the high-ranking guys, seeing how the sausage gets made, I guess you'd say.
Well, we're glad to have you involved. We couldn't function without all of our parts working in harmony.
Well-oiled machine and all that.
Now, did you see or notice anything about the murder that happened tonight?
I've been racking my brain, and I can't think of anything that I noticed. I've been kind of just observing, the proposals, going about there. Do we know when Zoltan was killed? Was it after the last proposal or during it? Do we have any idea?
Best estimates are placing time of death around 9 p.m. Maybe a bit before.
Okay, so that would have been. So would that have been during the proposal, or
Yeah, that would have been during the third proposal session.
during the third proposal? Yeah, during that time I would have been in the main hall with everybody else, just watching the. Who would that have been? The
Miller's Pyre.
yeah, Miller's Pyre give their proposal. So yeah, I'm not sure who was there and who wasn't.
Understood. I just wanted to hear from everyone what, try to figure out who knows what.
No, I get it. You gotta establish the baseline and figure out who was where. Let me know if I can help.
Of course. What are your thoughts on this the world that we inhabit? If you could change anything, what would it be?
That's the thing, is you can't change just one thing and change everything, but I don't know. I think an evening out of the playing field would be better than power that's just held in the hands of the few. I think we can look at where that's gotten us. James, you are back.
Yay! Ooh.
But then again, I think the plan about making resources less scarce also has some merit. I don't know, Nick. What do you think?
Nick, amazing.
I don't want to play my hand too early and impose my beliefs upon others. I'm scared that if I disclose where my preferences lie, others will try to vote along with me just for the sake of pleasing me.
Right, currying favor and all that. But I mean, if there was one thing, I mean, it doesn't even have to be big. What? No more mosquitoes.
There is too much turmoil in this world. And I think that we can fix that.
Fair enough. Fair
I think
enough.
that's what it all comes down to. Well, I appreciate you coming out here with me.
Like I said, I'm happy to help. You know, I'm used to doing what needs to get done, so just trying to help things move along. We're a little above my pay grade, so
Why don't you head on down and send the next person from your group up here?
all right.
He pushes you. Take the short way down.
I should have smoked.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I'll leave and go do that.
Who are you picking?
I'll get down there and go. He wasn't really specific, so I mean, I guess whoever wants to go talk to him next,
I
I
think
don't
I'd like to
want
go
to.
while I think I'll go while I still have thoughts fresh in my head. Then yeah, Ken will head up.
All right.
Walking slowly but deliberately, as I think is Ken's manner.
As you approach, he'll turn. Ah, yes. Mr. Ken Don. Heard good things about you.
And I wish I could say the same, sir. But what you have here is very intriguing, very impressive.
I figured that one such as you would certainly appreciate the grandeur of what we have here, and of course the need for secrecy.
Secrecy, most certainly. It's a very, I think, difficult thing for most people to grasp what you're offering. And the fruits that this may bear.
What are your thoughts on this world that we live in? How would you change it if you could?
Ken's going to ponder on that question. He doesn't give a quick answer, and I think Ken's answer is based on what I know of him from the dossier and the 5 minutes of probing his brain, and also seeing thinking about the plans that were put on the table. And I think his answer is for people to be less suspicious and less narrow-minded. Which is, I think, also an answer Aloysia would give.
They're a very well thought out answer. There are not many others who would go down a road such as that. Did you happen to hear anything, any rumors or any sign of struggle, time of the murder earlier this evening around 9 p.m.?
Just shake my head. Because I approached the scene kind of upon hearing. It was a dwarf male, correct? That was the victim. Yeah. believe I glanced him only but a few times while here. It was in the middle of the Miller's Pyre presentation. If that time you propose is correct, an interesting seminar, one of the more practical ones. As for and his death, no soul, no remnant, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. In the Bleak Gate, that would be weird because isn't that where a lot of undead, a lot of souls end up stuck?
At the very least,
So,
it would, even if it doesn't linger like a Ghost Council
Yeah.
member, it will still linger. Any soul
Yeah.
will linger for about a day.
Yeah, which implies, if I'm not mistaken, it would have been taken, pocketed away.
Yes, or
So,
ushered to the beyond. There are such
rites
spells.
and rituals, yes. Though I would imagine those would take more time than a inconspicuous end would want. If I may be so bold, I imagine you're looking for a gem on someone's person.
Jim did it.
Yeah, fuck Jim.
Look for
But basically,
Jim.
Chris, I'm trying to
Yeah.
refer to there's
a
the soul
cage.
cave.
Yeah.
But there's another one that's a much more permanent.
Yeah.
Puts it in a
Yeah.
a gym.
Fascinating. I hadn't thought of that angle. That's very good to keep in mind, I believe.
Be fascinated to know if it worked. Not. Actually, would is the Bleak Gate where they use a lot of Bleak Gate lanterns where they use a lot for clandestine meetings, Chris?
Yeah, that seems to be the Obscurati's kind of
MO.
MO.
Yeah, but it's usually not extended periods of time, correct? They're usually pretty short and brief, or
I mean, you guys are there right now.
yeah. Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking is the idea of a 2-night stay in the Bleak Gate weird?
There was an entire robot factory built in the Bleak Gate.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So
I was
it's
trying
not
to.
common, but I think there are projects that are
Okay.
entirely carried out within here.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I wanted to know what the depths of that was before I made a comment on it. What I think what I'll comment is to Nicodemus is the basically express how calm a disruption like this seems to be being held. I had imagined a alarms and a full lockdown.
Well, we are nothing if not discreet here. There isn't any authorities to raise this to other than ourselves, and we will deal with the matter internally, of course. But sounding alarms will do nothing but bring attention that we
don't have control.
We do, of course, regret the loss of our brother Zoltan. But there will be time for mourning after business is done.
Is there anything else I can do for you, Nicodemus?
I think that's about it for now. You and your orientation group seem to be getting along quite well. Why don't you send up the next one for me?
anyone yeah, just anyone else? Just anyone? It seems
I'll
like
be
you're not
meeting with all of
concerned about
them
the
at some point. So,
Oh.
who's next is nodded.
of no great import. Okay.
Hey Nick, I'm back.
Round 2. Yeah, then yeah, just slowly. I imagine Kin walks with a very straight posture. Arms behind his back kind of guy.
Sure, yeah.
Chin slightly raised. Yeah, walking out and down the stairs.
And a stick straight up the butt.
Oh yeah, Ken definitely feels like
None
he
of
has
that
a big
bisexual walking here. Purely straight.
Forward.
And yeah, head back down to the room.
Okay.
Quick, I think it went fine. I think if anything, he notices our chumminess.
I made a lot of food. I didn't want it to go to waste.
Why don't you go next?
Okay. I guess I'll head up.
When you reach the top of the lighthouse, you see Nicodemus looking up at the dark sky. Such a shame to not be able to see the stars here in this realm.
Real quick, because I'm perpetually in Gestalt. Is Bruce McDruid a Sky Seer?
No.
Okay. That doesn't make much of a difference. I'll see him eventually.
But he is a sailor, and stars
Yeah.
are still, like, important.
Not, yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to figure out how much significance Bruce would put in stars. Like, he's not sailing; they're not that important right now. Yeah, I'll see him some other time. They don't change too much.
Some other time.
When I leave the Bleak Gate and go sailing again, although I guess they might be a little bit different.
Are you not fascinated by them?
Not particularly. They're just a tool to use.
Let's go now.
Huh?
Kinky.
Let's go see the stars.
I don't see how, other than leaving the Bleak Gate.
Yes, exactly. Come with me. He heads back down the lighthouse, and
I just want to tune in to Bruce real quick. Would
Uh-huh.
he be panicked about this situation?
he does not know what's going on.
Welcome to Bruce FM.
Okay.
Green seems sus.
Well, I will cast guidance on myself and then follow behind.
When he gets to the base of the lighthouse, he calls out, "Jerome, we're going to cut it down for about 30 minutes. We'll need some of these." He grabs some amulets off of the out of a locked case on the wall. He grabs 4 of them, hands 2 to the guards that are with him, hands 1 to you.
I'll take it. Yeah, I don't have to give him any information about the murder right now. I'll just take the amulet.
And he puts one on and walks outside towards the beach.
I follow behind.
After a few moments, you notice the blackness of the Bleak Gate fade away, and you see that you're back in the real world. A wind hits you, coming off the sea, and it's so refreshing. Like, you did not realize how much you missed it.
Mhm.
Both you and Bruce.
Yeah.
And Nicodemus takes a deep breath in.
What made you want to do all of your plans in that awful place?
There's a need for secrecy, you understand. Not to mention, the Ghost Council can sometimes manifest in some ways here, but not fully.
Why is the Ghost Council going to say anyways? It's not like what we change is going to affect them.
But we would not be where we are without them. This plan has developed over a very, very long time. And knowledge can be mortal, if not preserved.
Yeah, so write a book or, magically record it.
Oh, I've many books. But we do what we must to lay every caution we can. Our time to be out in the open is approaching, but for now we must continue in the shadows.
Do you really think what you're doing is the right thing? I mean, you're willing to hire a scoundrel like me or working in the shadows instead of, like, communicating with other people, trying to make a world better for everyone. Like, why are you so keen on hiding it and using unsavory types to get your work done?
Because if I didn't, there would be powers that would lock away knowledge and ambition, and nothing would ever change or progress.
I suppose you've got a grander plan than I have any idea, so it's not like I get to make choices.
Sorry, one moment.
Mhm.
He looks the known look of somebody who's just received a sending.
Can I insight on him just to kind of? Oh, actually, hold on. I think sendings technically make a noise.
Do they?
Bing bong.
I know. I think they. I think it's a. Oh no, it's message that does. Message whispers in their ear.
Oh, interesting.
Sending does not. Can I at least make an insight just to see like what kind of news he's getting?
Sure.
Cool. I keep closing my character sheet because it gets in the way of the map. Insight. I'm so good at these. 26.
He definitely does a good job of like hiding his expression, but you do there is a concern that he has to address, but it doesn't seem like something like major. But he will turn to you. Sorry, there's a matter I have to handle.
Other than the murder?
Yes, if you would believe it. Just stay here a moment. I'll be right back.
I guess I'll continue following orders outside of Leap Gate.
As he turns to leave, give me a perception check.
Yes. Perception. I make those with advantage. 29.
You notice a small hook, like a fishing hook, drop from him as he turns to leave. And you're compelled to investigate.
Okay. I will go towards it and investigate. I've been forgetting to add my d4s to these, so that was at least a 30 and a 27.
Yeah, you're more than good.
Yeah, I'll go check out the hook. That's the clergy symbol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you bend to pick it up,
Mhm.
you can sense a will present in this hook.
Oh. We know, well, we may have put together that Nicodemus has changed bodies at least once. So, I think it's best to not touch this hook. But I need to get rid of it somehow.
It doesn't seem like a strong, like the will of a fully sentient creature or anything.
Oh, okay. I'll pick it up, but I've got the web like ready to just chuck it in.
Okay. It looks like a fairly simple iron pendant, rusted in places. You feel should I say
Cursed.
no. You feel like you can, like, you look at the guard that's there with you, and you feel like you can almost imagine his like his background, like his how he got to where he is now.
Huh. That's interesting. Can I look at it, like, look at myself through it or whatever?
Self-reflection's out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if
Roll
it would
myself.
do myself or Bruce.
You can see both if that's what you're trying to.
So I can differentiate between the two. Ooh. Oh, that's scary, though. Because anyone who has that would notice there's two. I definitely put this in the absurdist web. To use later, but for now, to make sure Nicodemus doesn't have it.
Okay.
And then I go back to where I said I was waiting.
Okay. After a few minutes, Nicodemus returns. Sorry about that, just a small matter to attend to. Should probably head back.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. I suppose there were two others that arrived with you that I haven't met with yet.
Did Katal join or come with us as well?
I was.
Oh, that was an
referring
out of character question, but
to- Oh.
It was us.
He did
Leon.
arrive with you,
but he's not counting us as part of that group.
Is he counting?
Zambria, I know.
Zambria
Yeah.
and Mina.
Okay. I couldn't remember because we got paired off with the ecologist, and I couldn't remember if the ecologist had rode in with us.
No, he was already there.
Okay.
And presumably would have met with Nicodemus while you guys were having your feast.
Understood.
Although to be less suspicious, I'd probably invite him. I don't know. Oh, we just missed you. Sorry, the food lasted an hour.
I mean, he's not staying in your room, so it's up to you whether or not he would have even found out.
I think since we were doing it in like our we're doing it in one of our rooms, right? So it'd be weird if he wasn't included.
Yeah,
Since
I
you
guess
shared
my
it with-
question is, can McDruid do spells?
Hey, he's a druid.
Okay.
He also can prepare it before he gets in if necessary.
He's an Irish druid.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if you could actually, if you could cast spells or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go grab someone and bring him up, or tell him to come up.
Okay.
And I will grab. I forgot Mina's Livia. Nicodemus wants you. He brought me outside, like out of the bleak gate. It was very weird.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna retreat to my room and start messing with that hook a bit.
Okay. So, Livia, Mina.
Olimia.
Nicodemus meets you in the hallway on the way back up to the lighthouse.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you finding your accommodations?
Well, someone died here, so less than ideal.
Yes, we're doing our best to handle that, investigate at the very least. We're taking every precaution to ensure that nothing further happens.
Okay.
Have you heard anything that would be useful in our investigation?
I don't think so. I don't even know when he died, but I've been in back-to-back presentations on all of these. And then exploring all their little demi-planes.
Oh yes, nifty little trick there. What are your thoughts on this convocation so far?
Honestly, what does this murder say about this group's abilities to be the purveyors of reality?
Yes, that's it is unfortunate that our operations in the shadows seem to have attracted some of the more violent natures, but that's why we look to address some of those core issues of humanity with these proposals.
Sure, but like, how are you then going to guarantee that whoever did this isn't on the winning team?
That's why we're investigating.
Right, and then what? Is that entire team's proposal thrown out? Is that single person taken care of? Like, we don't answer to a higher authority here, so who is going to be the arbiter of justice in this scenario?
Those that are willing to betray their fellow man have no place in this organization.
We're all betraying someone by being here. And if you think you're not, you're lying to yourself.
I wouldn't expect anyone who knows our cause to betray another if they truly believe as I do.
Right, but they don't. Clearly. And
And
that's
thus-
kind of my point. Wherever...
Thus, they will no longer be welcome.
Sure. Have you heard the saying, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead? No two people have the same outlook on life. No matter how similar it is, there will always be a sticking point.
It's not about the nitty-gritty details. It's about the core values. That we
You
believe.
say that, but a man is dead. Death speaks to me of a core value.
And that core value has no place here.
And if it comes to a fistfight between two sides, one that agrees with whoever did this and one that doesn't, I'm saying civil war will erupt anywhere. And to think that it won't here is laughable and naive.
I'd like to believe that those that would take a path of violence are in a vast minority among our colleagues. And if that's idealistic of me, then perhaps I've misjudged everything.
Keep thinking along those lines. Any choice we make, I'm not saying that making a choice on one of these is a bad idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea. But to change the world will be a violent act.
And I believe that it doesn't have to be.
And I'm telling you that I don't care what you believe, it will be violent. Because whatever planets we rip out of our circle to implant new ones, that will be an act of violence. I don't know what the repercussions will be. They may not be for us, but they will be for someone.
But there is so much to gain. For the
Right.
future of
And
humanity.
that right there, you're willing to sacrifice something to gain.
Always gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Exactly. And that man down there was an egg for someone.
Well, we can hope that we get the right omelet, at least.
You guys ever do your scene and then later you're like, fuck, I could have done so much better on my scene.
Right?
I mean, I'm just glad someone's saying it. I didn't feel like I was in a position to.
I'm speaking as the woman who's literally here because she's betraying her government on both sides. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I'm
You can
so
say it.
I'm envious.
It's
that
great.
you
Mine
could
would have
do
been very different. Yours is great.
Sure.
it.
He took me
Because
outside to see the stars.
We had a nice romantic evening on the beach.
yeah, I mostly am enjoying that we get to see a lot. We're getting to see a lot of sides of this person.
Um,
I think he knows. I think we're already done in.
Oh, I think we're made. I
Yeah.
absolutely
Oh, we're
think we're
totally
made.
made.
Probably. Let's
Oh, we're
face
fucked.
it. Like,
Elfera, you're taking a look at this hook thing?
Yes.
Alright. So what are you investigating any particular facet of it, or
I'm just kind of trying to figure out what it can do within the confines of this room.
Okay.
Like, use it on myself, use it on like an object, see if I get a history of the object, or like, I'm generally just trying to figure out some properties here.
so it seems like it has the potential to do a lot more, but
Interesting.
requires you to take
Follow
certain
the person.
actions.
Can I try and maybe glean more, Chris? Because this is happening in the room together, correct?
Yeah.
It was in it was in my room. I don't know if we were sharing a room or not.
I wasn't sure. We were getting each other from rooms. We had that nice dinner together.
Yeah.
I guess my question is can I offer the identify spell to see if
I would have asked discreetly. If we were all like in our own rooms, I would just go and ask. Really quick.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure I don't have it prepared, so I have to ritual it.
Your mic cut out completely for a minute there.
Pull out my bag, find the material component needed for it, gold bracelet with a pearl inlay, and do the identify ritual.
So this seems very ancient.
Oh.
Ooh.
Go ahead and two of you give me history checks or religion.
Am I having this conversation upstairs while they're doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I there for this?
That is up between you and them.
I was discreetly
No, I don't want to be seen with them. I want to be seen with them as little as possible.
Yeah, I discreetly asked, but I was trying to stay in my own room.
Oh.
I'm gonna give myself Skyseer's blessing. So. I'll keep that 13, and then I gotta add the D4 to it. 16.
A 24 religion, Chris. I chose religion because I know the fishhook has significance.
Mine could have been history just to hit the other base. I'm
Sure.
equally bad.
Well, working together, you two feel like this would be the hook that Traganese was that like was his fishing hook, his personal. The man who founded the clergy, ascended to godhood.
Interesting. How would Nicodemus have gotten that?
Because you can never trust a man named Nicodemus. Didn't you read?
Haven't
None
you-
of you fucking read Dresden?
Have none of you read any fiction ever, forever, period?
I know the name. I've heard the name Nicodemus in other locales. They're also not good dudes.
Yeah.
Also, not to toot my own horn, I knew exactly what the fuck that was the second it hit the ground.
Yeah, I figured it was at minimum like a holy symbol.
Right, but like I remember doing all of that research so early in the game.
Yeah.
This is a wondrous item artifact,
Ooh.
and it has a, I don't remember what you call it, motivations or
It has an ego.
Intelligent?
It has an ego.
Put that in the web.
I already had one, so just
Put it back right now.
No.
Fine. Chris, I'm putting it in a box and I'm sending it away.
Huh?
So
I thought you could identify stuff while I was holding it. Like I wouldn't have.
I want this gone.
it's
That's
like a
great.
conversation that can happen in character.
Yeah, that's great. This is mine to figure out what to do with.
Then get out of here.
This is my room. You get out.
Okay. It can hear us. It can talk to us. It might talk to other things that we don't know about.
Great.
And it has
So
been
have-
listening to us the whole time. Get
So
rid
it
of it.
has plenty of other things.
Get rid of it.
No.
So
Break yourself with it and see what happens.
its current concordance is 9.
I don't know what that means.
Going to share this with you because I think at this point it's fine. Well, maybe I could knock off what the high level ones are.
So the man ascending to godhood is like actual factual history. Like that definitely did happen, or is that just like we think this happened?
I mean that's what everybody takes as reality.
Okay, even people not in the clergy, they're like that totally happened. I just don't believe in him.
Oskin, I need your help here.
All right, it is. Let's see, can I share it to chat? How do we share this? Oh, I can just add it to your character sheet.
Oh boy.
Oskin, can you please help me out here? We do not want something that has... We don't want things that can think in here. And for all we know, it's already compromised us. And will continue to do so in our presence.
So you're currently at 9 because it starts at 5. You belong to a divine class.
Oh, okay.
And you have proficiency in insight and persuasion.
I do. That's
Um,
very recent.
If you are adherent to the clergy, you would get an additional +2. Whenever you gain a level, it will gain +1d10. If you stop ongoing combat with diplomacy, it will gain 1. If you recruit a former enemy as an ally, you get +2. If you harm the interests of another solely for personal benefit, -1. If you or an ally kill a sentient being without first trying dialogue, it gets -2. Oops. And currently, it is granting you a +2 bonus to insight checks.
Ooh.
But you feel like it definitely has a higher potential, and would try to find a way to break away from you if it ever got too low.
Okay. But right now we are in like agreement with each other,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. I was gonna add that +2 to my insight. Passive bonus 2. I don't think that worked. Anyways, I'll take care of that later. Do I get any sense of like it has like what's it called? Motivation, like a drive.
Yeah.
Does it seem to have any sort of like intelligence or memories or like any way to actively communicate with it?
No, it doesn't have like that level of intelligence.
Okay, it just is exerting a will
Mhm.
at most.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That is slightly different than I initially thought it was. Okay.
It is
We should
an
probably
intelligent item in that it is more intelligent than an everyday stick, but
Okay. Okay.
I think this could be helpful, honestly.
I
And,
think it's not something we want to have found on us.
Oh, absolutely not. No way.
Like, at all.
Yeah, I told you how I found it, right?
He dropped it and you picked it up,
Yes.
so he's going to wonder where it is.
Yes.
And you were...
That's why I'm saying I'm not gonna let anyone see it.
I'm saying you need to not have it so it can never be seen.
I think it'll be very handy to have right now.
Why?
It'll be easier to get away with what we're doing if I'm able to use this.
How?
I'll be able to tell if people think something's up. I can tell you the background of any person I look at. We would have so much more information if I'm able to use this than if I'm not. I'll keep it hidden. I'm not going to let Nicodemus find it.
I think that is much too risky.
Well, it's my risk to take.
No, it's not. Not when we're here together. It is not, you're not risking just you. There are other people. Think outside of yourself, please.
Fine, I'll put it in the web, but I'm keeping this.
The web is fine. Please do not bring it out. That is a bad idea. We are already on thin ice with what's happening here.
Nicodemus probably already knows all of our situations here.
Then
Just-
we should be leaving.
I
So, do you think we're compromised and need to leave, or are we fine?
I'm not sure. I know that I was able to see it very easily, but that might just be because I know what I was looking for. Also, I have no idea if he's even used it. I only saw it falling, presumably, out of his pocket. I'm just giving you the information I have.
Okay. I'm going to start thinking about how Ken would want to vote.
I think it's time we take our break.
Okay.
Do that sooner. Just realizing I accidentally made it a tool.
Oh.
Can't figure out how to make it.
I mean, it is a fishing hook. Presumably, we could still catch fish with it.
I don't mind it being in the tool category.
Yeah.
Can I catch godfish?
I'll just catch regular fish.
The fish I catch and attain enlightenment, and then I have to feel bad for eating them?
No, but they might grant a wish.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Here we are. All right. So you guys have had your meetings. It's safe to assume
Mhm.
Zambria has her meeting with Nicodemus as well. Reports
Mhm.
nothing out of the ordinary. Comparing notes. Just that he asked, the same sort of questions. Know anything about the murder and
Yeah.
Oh,
Understand.
he didn't ask me about the murder
He
a
got
single
distracted.
time. You want to go look at the stars? Yeah.
He got called into another thing before he had a chance to ask you.
So, as you head out into the rest of the manor for
Mhm.
the meeting at midnight, the mood is warier than it was before. People are
What? Over a little stabbing? Actually, was it a
People are-
stabbing?
bandying about. Sorry.
Was it a stabbing? I didn't
Yes, it
actually
was.
ask how he died.
Yeah, was a stabbing.
Okay.
Theories are bandied about, including that a spy has infiltrated, that this is actually just some sort of mind game that Nicodemus has cooked up, or that someone's trying to kill people who would vote for different factions. But nobody seems to know what faction Zoltan was favoring. Amiel jokingly suggests that it could be the Ghost Pirates, and tells a story about how there were some pirates that perished near this island some time ago. Some people are in the trophy room or the dance hall, having large group discussions. But as the clock approaches midnight, Nicodemus asks everyone to gather again in the main hall. Erected on stage is a metal plate with the names of the 5 factions painted on it, as well as other. Beside it is another plate with small magnet tags, each of which has the name of one of the Obscurity officers. Nicodemus asks people to file through, pick up their named magnet, and cast a vote. He reminds them that this is just preliminary. Tomorrow night, everyone will be able to cast a new vote, and that other proposals might be added between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's not even a blind vote. That's like everyone knows who everyone voted for, right?
Yep.
Ick.
People start lining up. Nicodemus goes first and places his magnet on Miller's pyre. Vikemi Terrio telekinetically picks up 25 magnets for the Ghost Council and places them on other. He explains, after the final vote, the Ghost Council will endorse whichever faction has the most votes.
Interesting.
As you guys are in the back of the line, as you approach, there are currently 4 votes for Arboretum,
Only 4?
9 votes for Colossus,
Oh, you fuck waffles.
10 votes for Miller's Pyre,
There we go.
7 votes for the Panarchists, and 5 votes for the Watchmakers.
Ooh.
Other has 8 plus the 25 ghosts.
Yeah, which you could argue are arbitrary. Well, not arbitrary, but
Yeah.
they've been declared where they're going. They're to push one over the edge into a vast majority.
And then I can also, at this point, show you what the minor factions are.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask Chris, how many non-ghost councils went into other?
8.
Okay. Oh yeah, what are grand design, minor and radical factions? Oh no. Okay.
The Panarchists aren't radical?
No, this is radical like skateboarding dogs.
Okay, good. Hey, I can vote for a radical faction. Hell yeah.
Celestial bureaucracy. The faction suggests the world should be linked to a plane inhabited by just and noble angels, which will guide the moral races and provide judgment, since we do such a poor job of it. Look, man, can you just handle this?
Jesus, take the wheel!
Sorry, I was about to say something, but I need to hold off on it just because the context is too obscure and is also spoilers.
So we've got Aegis.
Yep.
Current planes prevent invasion from other worlds. Is working well so far. Aegis insists that if the current planes of space and death, which are the source of the protection, are changed, some other defenses will be put in place, represented by Dengar Krieghoff, human wizard of Drakkar.
Okay.
The Bards, this faction wants people to have more discerning taste when it comes to entertainment, and for performance to constantly seek and hone their craft, represented by Frizadia Devika, half-dragon Barg Bear. The Economists want people to have stronger sense of value of things and more intuitive grasp of economics. They hope that this will lead to more workers participating meaningfully in new industrialized economy, rather than wasting money or time on things that are traditionally but less utilitarian, represented by Solstice Petrov, human economist of L5R. The Long Now, people live a long time, but typically plan only for the short term. This faction wishes to find a plane of time that will make people consider a longer lifespan of their decisions, represented by Zartan Arkel, human druid of Drakkar. Mortal Mind opposes all religion as a distraction from the enlightenment of the mortal mind. They desire a world where people reject religion. Such mind control is not doable, so their plan is to eliminate people's ability to feel religious awe, creating such more rational existence. Inspired by von Hastenschrift, the Nova dwarf philosopher of Drakkar. The Sky League make flight possible, preferably easy. If it is feasible, they would like to be able to fly constantly, not in need of casting spells. This is Brandon Sanderson's plan. He just wants everyone to fly all the time.
Yeah, I like this one.
Dave Constant, Spirit, and Human Knight of Danar.
I just want to fly.
Trekkers, not content to limit mortal races to single world, this faction wants to choose planes that are habitable, represented by Cardinal Testamenta Sukdol, human inquisitor of Persalier. Conquistador. Weapon mongers, believing that technological progress is of great value, the faction wants to ensure that whatever new world is created, not one of the pathetic peace and harmony where invention and innovation is stifled by the lack of war, represented by Galaz Duslan Mangi, human ice mage of Danar.
Yeah, the standard, we expand faster and when we're at war, so we should always be at war.
Exactly.
Argument.
The radical factions are the amorals.
How is the whoa? How is the warmongers not in the radical faction?
We already fight a bunch, so like, what's a little more fighting? It's not that weird.
Yeah,
That's a good point, actually, and I hate that you made it. That's a good point.
Amorals, this highly philosophical faction, questions whether anyone ought to decide what is of value in a new world. They suspect that initial bonding of this world to other planes created an artificial sense of morality and value. If we can change what people value simply by altering the nature of reality, what makes us think our own morality is not enforced? They propose not linking it to any specific planes, but instead letting our world be loosely connected to the entire multiverse. This would be the only way for people to be truly free to determine their own ideology without outside influence.
Oh God, I agree.
The celestial bureaucracy, as we discussed, would join us with Justin Noble Angels. The Humble Hook faction rejects the major goal of the Obscurati. While they support making the world better, they say that it's every individual's challenge in life to make him or herself better. They do not think that it is their place to try to alter reality at such a fundamental level. Convinced that the purpose of life is thus to prevail over adversity, they fear that making the world a better place will actually eliminate the meaning of life.
They will also teach dogs how to ride on skateboards.
Pause real quick. When we got to this one, I missed because of the small font on my screen. I thought the title of this faction was The Humble Honk. Carry on.
Due to no specific thing that fell into my bag recently, I'm really inclined to that one. I think it's the dogs that can ride on skateboards part, though.
Yeah. The Materialists. This faction believes that magic is irrational and creates too many problems. They suggest reducing the power of magic as much as possible.
Fuck you.
Gross.
The
Fuck you.
Nationalists. Supposedly several patriots who want to make sure their home nation profits most from the New World Order. So there are some that are just like, Danner should be more powerful than anyone else. The White Tongue. Rumors suggest that an unknown number of Obscurati members have made a pact with the Fey Titan known as the Voice of Rot, which seeks to gain power by letting the world die.
Holy shit. Hell yeah.
But Voice of Rot wouldn't want the world to be dead, because rot comes from life coming from death. If it's all dead.
You hit the pause button. It's the Nurgle option.
Yeah.
So,
I like the Humble Hook one a lot.
Okay.
where are you guys placing your votes?
Other.
Panarchy!
Okay.
Well, after I made such a big stink about the sun cooking your brain, I can't really vote for the Arbor guys. So I guess I have to vote for. Can I vote for one of the minor factions?
Yeah,
That's
that would
other.
be other.
It's other.
Okay, yeah, then I vote other.
I don't vote for Panarchy. I do vote for the Watchmakers in hopes that they'll let me read their fucking document.
Okay. So, if I did it correct, I have 11 for other, which I thought other was like just like the none of these option.
That's what I was
Yeah.
treating it as.
Yeah. 6 watchmakers, 7 panarchists, 10 Miller's Pyre, and 9 colossi, and 4 arbitorium.
Mhm.
Arboretum.
Arboretum.
Sounds more or less right. After the final votes, Nicodemus takes the stand. Once again, this was just a preliminary to gauge the temperature of the room. There will be another vote tomorrow, and I have a feeling that new ideas may come to light by then. I know that some factions have left themselves open to compromise, so we'll see where those talks lead to tonight. With that, the groups start to disperse. Some heading back to the trophy room or the dance hall, some staying here, other people going to bed. It seems like Dame Constance Baden is starting to draft some sort of compromise between Miller's Pyre, Arboretum, and Panarchists.
Okay, that was the Sky League. So the Fly Lady wants to just what you said making a deal with Miller's Pyre?
Yeah, so she's basically proposing like the groundwork of something
Yeah.
that kind of pulls the best.
Well, which makes sense because Miller's Pyre has a wild card slot, which means you could theoretically squeeze in an extra plane of air for flight.
Yeah.
And it looks like those two are losing the most, so they're trying to combine their votes.
Well, Miller's Pyre has the most votes.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Colossus and Watchmaker seem to be strongly opposed to Miller's Pyre.
Which makes sense.
Discussions and arguments continue as people look for common ground.
But Colossi has the second most votes.
Yeah, so I think it's Arboretum being like, okay, I don't think my thing's gonna work. Let me talk these to see if I can get some of my stuff in their proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one person is like trying to like do the math. I think we can get should be able to get 24 votes if we combine those three, plus those from the Sky League. Long Now and Trekkers should be on board.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm in a position, Chris, to try and push groups or try and influence that, but I think Ken is definitely, because the reason Ken voted other was 2-hour presentations isn't enough.
Yeah.
To be of any kind of convincing, but so I think Ken basically wants to be in the space and listening to what others are proposing or what compromises, and is also, I guess, honestly anticipating someone coming up and lobbying him.
Yeah. Which, you know, you would put yours on others, so since they're kind of trying to form some sort of alliance, they probably would come up to you. And
I figure anyone who voted other is a undecided voter, and so they're
Mr.
the one.
Ken Don, where's your head at right now? Are you interested in one of the minor factions? Perhaps with some adjustments, we can get you on board.
My vote represented the understanding that a rewrite of the stars deserves more than 2 hours of discussion.
Some nod sagely.
Who do you represent?
Let's say you're talking to Dame
Yeah.
Constance. I came here representing one of the minor factions, but as I think that we've been able to get at least some people on board, combining some pieces of the Miller's Pyre, Arboretum, Panarchists. Those that were interested in the Long Now and the Trekkers are on board. We think we can find some habitable worlds to include.
Well, the as I see it, the Miller's Pyre is the most favorable to the others, as their plan involves more space and fewer alterations.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that the let's see here, looking over real quick, that the Catherine?
Arboretum.
That the Arboretum would find the Miller's Pyre to be the most favorable, the fewest overlap, and the most room for more. If my notes are correct, they have like very few touching ones other than Earth, but theoretically you could then slot in another Earth to make up, and then you can get what you want. They could both get what they want. And then also, tell the Dane that the Colossus was the least convincing, though I can understand a very attractive package.
Yes, we're going to work on this proposal some more, but I think that we'll come up with something that you like.
And then what did double checking? Yeah, the Panarchists. Wait, what did the Panarchists change?
They were the libertarians.
I'm just looking at which ones they changed. I think it was the life one. I'm realizing I didn't actually note down what their changes were. Let me find that. I can pull up that.
The visual aid that I showed.
Grand design.
Minor
Grand trying to sign. Where'd the Panarchist one go? Yeah, where's
Here,
the...
I'll share it in here too.
Yeah.
The visual aid from that I shared after last session.
Yeah.
So they were
Let's see
changing
here.
life, death, and space.
Life. Oh, okay. Right. Sorry, I misread my notes. Yes, I had marked what they changed, but theirs didn't have a we're changing this into this. They said that we are changing these to get these things.
Yeah.
But they didn't have like a specific attribute that they were changing out.
Yeah.
Which means, unfortunately, the Panarchists and Miller's Pyre are pretty at odds with one another. Basically, I'm looking at like what factions actually overlap, and can it not be Colossus? Because Colossus is stupid. It makes the least amount of sense.
All right. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do before?
I don't want to show like direct interest in them, but I do want to keep an ear out for
Yeah.
Hummel Hook people.
Okay.
I don't want to be associated with them though.
Yeah. It's probably at most one or two people that might be pushing for this one, but
Yeah.
there isn't like it's more of like people that it'd be nice for this, but that's not really what we're here for. So there's not like somebody taking the torch to really push Humble Hook.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to just note those two people in particular. It's like they are more on our side than they think.
Actually, you know what? Real quick, Chris, I talked to the Dane, and if it has the chance to hurt Colossus, I'm willing to make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Of mostly just mentioning that that basically their faction might be able to work with Miller's Pyre, because if Miller's Pyre wins over Colossus, I'm disgusted with myself, but it's better.
Okay, so sorry, what are you trying to?
If what I just said to the Dane has any chance of moving any of their factions or their votes towards trying to work with Miller's Pyre.
Oh, okay, sure.
Like, again, I'm not doing this with any real gusto or anything, but you know, it doesn't necessarily hurt.
Okay, yeah, I mean, not a very high persuasion, but there's some head nods.
Yeah, polite. Everyone in this room is in diplomacy mode, right? Everyone's giving polite smiles and head nods.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm gonna kind of work my way around the room and try to kind of poison the well for the watchmakers. Be like,
Okay, yeah.
It's gonna be great once nobody has free will anymore, and we let one person make all the decisions forever. Just kind of like the people that look like they support this, remind them why it sucked. Kind of give everybody a reason to hate it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me any sort of
Sure.
social check there?
Sure. I'll try one of those that I'm totally good at.
Yeah. Did your charisma go up any when you... Oh, wait, no, right. We keep our mentals.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Not for Bruce McDrude.
Oh, great.
Bruce
I'm so much better than him.
I mean, I guess I could do it in a kind of threatening manner for intimidation.
Okay, sure.
Isn't that going to be great?
Yeah.
If you'll allow it, Chris.
Yeah, go for it.
20.
Oh!
A natural 20?
No.
Oh, okay.
Still.
Yeah, still. There's definitely a few that are kind of rethinking, like, I mean, it's supposed to be for the better, right?
Wait a second, then that means, but that would mean, but also,
But that would mean I don't get to do what I want to do.
I mean, if you're okay with letting other people write your life,
yeah.
Um,
I mean, once it's locked in, there's no going back. But you're cool with that, right?
you're cool, right?
You fuck, right?
Yeah.
While Bruce was like, while I was keeping an eye out for the humble hook, I want to make Bruce like smoozy with the trekkers. It seems like the thing Bruce would be most into is like, oh, more places to explore and exploit than just this planet.
Makes sense.
So I'm making it visible that they're the faction that Bruce is most interested in.
Okay.
What's Zambria doing?
Cool.
She definitely is intrigued by trekkers as well, or that aspect of exploration herself. She's definitely getting propositioned by the bards because they
Oh
know
yeah,
who-
because she's inside an opera singer.
yeah, she is. So like, you know, if she ever has a moment to like say to you, she would prefer trekkers, but like, oh my god, the bards are like, they all but assume. She put her token on others, and the bards are like, yeah, we got him. He's on board.
And you shall be the goddess of our new realm.
The monkeys around the obelisk at the beginning of
2001.
yeah. Big stick.
Big stick turn into bomb means something.
Yeah. Let's see here. How are the panarchists doing?
They seem to be getting on board with this plan that AIM is forming up.
Oh, okay. Like that the panarchists, it's like I don't want it, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Like,
I mean,
I want to
there's-
see how that plays out. I want to see what that world looks like in 200 years. Because that
If
one
you-
sells buku bucks.
If you want one that you know what the future's gonna be like, join up with the clockmakers.
Fuck no!
The future's you being a nerd.
This guy is a total nerd. Now you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we have, yeah, it's the mental exercise of, in a number of generations, no one will remember what this is.
Yeah.
On any of these plans. All of these plans. This will no longer be, and people will not be able to conceive of it otherwise. And we cannot truly conceive what we are choosing. And that is fascinating. This is the literal definition of magic, and the people who want to make it otherwise can get fucked.
All right. Did anyone else have anything before the discussion
Yes.
starts to wind down?
Will
around
they
2
let
p.m.?
me read their book?
Oh yeah,
It means getting a vote.
yeah. They'll like, oh yeah, of course, and they'll like take you to the library where there's just like an entire like half of the wall of bookcases. And they're like, yep, here it is.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one out of the center and I'm gonna look for a comma splice.
Okay. Give me what's the best scholarly
Grammar check.
Investigation?
Yeah, investigation seems good.
Use brain.
What are my stats? That's my investigation.
It should be the same as Mina's.
Yeah, I know, but he had to pull it up.
Plus
We
nine.
should've-
Okay.
Plus
right,
9.
right.
28!
Holy shit!
So you go in ready to, you're convinced you're going to be able to find something, and you feel confident that you're doing a thorough job.
Mm-hmm.
But after spending first 5 minutes, 15 minutes, then an hour, poring over, grammatically and structurally, it's all there. It doesn't seem good necessarily. It is still enslavement, but
Yeah, sure. I was looking for a commas place on a 28. If I don't find one, cool, they got an excellent editor.
yeah.
You still know that with an excellent editor, 1% of all mistakes make it through to print, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
But as far as editing and structure and organization, it is there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then now I'm starting to read, and how horrified am I by what I'm reading?
It's about what you expect. It's not necessarily an individual level script, but it is, writing in for factions, nations, world. There are contingencies for natural phenomenon, all sorts of things. But it is, just a general idealistic. Technology is progressing, humanity is flourishing.
Sure.
There's no poverty. Everyone's living in happy harmony. It's it almost makes you sick to your stomach with it. It's how
Sure. So super Stepford, and everyone will feel like something's wrong, but they can't do anything to stop it. Cool, great.
yeah.
Awesome. I hate it.
Yeah, the second this
Why
is
couldn't one of
over,
them got
everyone's
stabbed?
gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
Well, one of them is already dead and a
Yeah.
ghost.
Yeah. My point is why couldn't one of them get stabbed?
You do notice as you're pouring over, some of these have pieces and notations that go back hundreds of years. This does look like it's been worked on a long time.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If there are annotations on the creation of sections, they go back a very, very, very long time.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
What are you doing and why?
So yeah, people start to turn in around 2 a.m. To get rest. After, if you guys are staying up or participating in discussions,
It's already past midnight, right?
yeah, the vote was at midnight.
I think Ilferi and Bruce have done their part of investigating who they're interested in and looking like they belong to a specific group. So they're going to turn in.
Yeah, I'll keep kind of making my rounds, doing what I can, but yeah, I'm gonna head to bed.
Okay. Is anyone planning to close down the party?
I actually have something, Chris. Do I hear or anyone, I guess, that's talking about as part of their plan or just part of the discussion of why certain, I guess, aspects of our world are the way they are now as it relates to history and how did we go from the druids did the ritual but none of that civilization is around anymore and we are where we are now? Is any of that discussed or
No,
brought up? Is there
most of the discussion is about looking forward.
to the new, not looking back on the old. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Nicodemus present?
Yeah.
In this space? Okay. Then you know what? I would like to. You know what? I'll ask him.
Mhm.
If he has, but yeah, almost raise it as a concern. Like, are there any concerns that basically that the last civilization that that did what we are attempting has otherwise been lost or disappeared?
What
Are
we
you
can,
are you worried about any fallout?
from what we can tell, the individuals who sealed this world were so beset at the time that this was their swan song.
Oh,
They struggled with extraplanar invasions, such to the point that it had already crushed what civilization they had or enslaved it. And what we have now is grown from those ashes.
are there any relics or evidence as to who these invaders were or what they were?
We've done a bit of research. I don't know if you've heard about these ziggurats placed around the world, but we found traces of invaders and pocket dimensions that contain some that have been trapped there for hundreds or thousands of years. There was a bit of a incident I heard over in Reeser with some of these otherworldly creatures.
Denizens of realities that this world once touched.
Precisely. And while we do risk that by opening the world up to that again, I believe that we can be ready and we can combat anything that they were not prepared for. Or we keep these seals in place and flourish on our own.
He's saying, by saying keep these seals in place, he means basically keep the planes that make planar invasion not a thing in place.
Right.
The hypothetical of we choose a plan, the world, the model doesn't, the results don't match the model. How hard would it be to replicate the process again? Will we only have one shot at this within our generation? I'll say lifetime is a squirrely contextual thing.
I agree with you there. There's nothing can be a sure thing, but we can be fairly certain. The ritual might be able to be reproduced if we can gather the materials and reenact it, but we also have the failsafe of the lighthouses we've planted across the world to protect from anything too disastrous.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. Was that in the notes of how the lighthouses make things? Okay. Journal.
I believe it was in the grand design page.
Yeah. Grand design. Planar primer. That's what those are. Proposals and voting. Cardinal rule.
The change will affect the whole world, help transition between
ask
the
for
two
it, though.
worlds. We're constructing lighthouses, towers, and similar tall monuments, all equipped with magic lanterns. By triggering these all simultaneously, create a field of stability. In the event something goes wrong, we'll be able to abort the ritual at any moment prior to its completion.
Okay. Gotcha. So, yeah, they're to stop planar turbulence, but they also have the ability to eject and cease the ritual.
Yep.
Is it indicated how many of these lighthouses currently exist?
It is not.
Okay. And thus also does not disclose their location. Other than the fact, I guess we know one is here.
Seems like it.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
The island I grew up, they just had boats with lanterns, not a whole lighthouse, right? There was like a proposal for a lighthouse.
Yeah, I think they were talking about getting one.
Okay.
IARC.
Okay.
But Bruce McDruid definitely knows where there's a couple lighthouses.
Oh yeah, I could totally list that off. I will tell everybody during midnight snack heroic feast. Midnight feast time.
Okay.
Are you guys having another one?
No. At next midnight feast.
Oh, okay.
Because we had it at like 11 o'clock or whatever. Right? We had it, or no, it was
Something like that.
Yeah, we had it at 11. So we'll renew it around that time every day.
Okay. I'm trying to think. So, I mean, other than these people lobbying for their whatever and not really being neither having the ability nor really the position to push any of it.
Yep.
I feel like I'm late to turn in.
All right. Yeah, so anyone else who stays to the end, Erskine is also one of the last few to stick around.
Erskine was our ecologist friend, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys are off to bed. Or were there any other late night activities?
I'm gonna take sorry, Jesus, I have 15 pages of notes for this campaign. A page of it's my inventory. Where'd they go? I'm taking one of the potions that means I don't have to sleep.
Okay. What are you doing with the night?
Not getting killed in my sleep, hopefully.
Cool. But you're staying to your room?
Yeah. I think, I think I'm spending a lot of time in my head. I'm contemplating the risks of trying to send any reports. The urge to meet deadlines while also fighting the urge of maintaining
No reports.
secrecy.
Get up with the newspaper.
Yeah.
No paper trail.
Mina, how late are you staying up in the library?
Oh god, yeah, I'd probably spend a lot
When did we vote?
Midnight.
Midnight? 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd probably join you in there at one point.
Yeah, because like this is not a slow process. I'm digging in.
At any point are me and Mina seemingly alone in the library?
Yeah, I I would
Yeah.
imagine so. They're
Okay.
ghosts pass by the windows outside every now and then, but
Mm-hmm. But those are like exterior bleak gate ghosts,
Yeah.
not ghost council ghosts.
some of them are ghost council.
Okay.
They don't got anything better to do.
Yeah. That.
Oh, Fairy, Jack, are you guys sleeping or?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna go to sleep.
I'll actually offer Mita a potion of watchful rest if she wants one.
Yes, please.
So how shitty is it?
About what you'd expect.
Find it deeply disquieting that this one's the most revolting, while the one that lets us feel and be compelled by the emotions of others, one of the more rational ones.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't like that dark mirror. That's not a fun dark mirror.
No.
I want the other fun dark mirror. I want to know
Yeah.
what it looks like when people can't break promises.
Yeah. Yeah, this one they can think it all they want, but on an individual level,
Yes.
people will live and die for 1,000 years compelled to
Mhm.
do what this tells them to do, and the moment it's done and
Mhm.
someone realizes it, there will be untold bloodshed as everyone lashes out. I'm not saying that like bad is the human default, but I am
Mhm.
saying that oppression will lead to revolt.
I 100 trust me. I have experienced what you just described. What I find the most interesting is that in 1,000 years will they know? Because in 1,000 years will they know what was happening, and will anyone be alive to know the difference? That's the sick, twisted part to me. Is that in 1,000 years, no one will be alive to remember that any of this happened.
Sure.
And when the tape stops and there's no script left, will they know that they were on script? Or will they just continue it because they've known nothing else?
Oh,
Will they improv the...
They
to
will
keep
not
the
know they
status
were on
quo?
script. But they also, like, some will continue to follow the script, obviously.
Yeah, and how long does it take for them to go off script into other genres?
Oh, year 1001 day.
I think they'll make it at least another 20 before it becomes a large enough problem.
Oh, large enough problem, but someone will figure out on day
Yes.
one that they have free will.
Yes, imagine being the first person in the world, in all of known existence, to discover lying.
Oh yeah, they
Did anyone
better
else ever
hope they're
see
right,
The
Dis-
Invention
and
of
that
Lying?
this
To
person
be
who
the
discovers it
first
has a general goodwill towards humanity, because whoever it is will become a dictator. Will it be benevolent in nature? Like, it can't inherently stay that way, but they can do it because they think they're doing. That's what this whole thing is. But
It's
like, someone will become a dictator.
right. Yeah. Imagine you're in a world where no one lies, no one can conceive of the concept of a lie, and you find out that you can say things that are not objectively true.
Thing is, the
And
first person
people
is going
will
to figure
believe
it
you.
out.
Imagine a world with a negative 30 insight check.
Sure. I'm telling you right now, the first person to figure this out will be a 3-year-old.
Have any of you seen The Invention of Lying?
No, but I've been thinking about it this whole time.
No, I haven't. I knew vaguely that that was a movie.
Yeah.
Or something very tangential.
I have
what
no
was
idea what
just
we're talking
describing.
about.
It's a movie called The Invention of Lying with Ricky Gervais. And
Yeah.
The plot is that he just lives in a world that doesn't have lying. Like
Mhm.
like it just doesn't exist. And like he discovers it and he is like, oh, there's this thing that I could do. And like he goes to the bank and he's like, I should have 100 pounds in my bank account. They're like, oh, well, let's just fix that for you real quick.
Yeah. And the idea that it's very much that idea of what happens when no one else, and then what happens when the second person figures it out, and then they figure out that they each know.
And then they lie to each other, and it starts a meet cute.
And then they take over the world together against
Yeah.
another couple that learn to lie together.
Yeah.
Well, couples should still be lying together. I think that was anyway.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
And then there's the pan-anarchist, and that can be a fade into an evening of philosophical discussion.
Give me perception checks.
Just them?
Yeah, the two that are awake.
Right. I'm shit at this.
Catherine,
I got lucky.
perception.
No.
I know, right? I have a +0.
Motherfucker, that was supposed to be a 20. It landed on a 2.
I got a 19.
Okay, cool.
5.
Ilferi, give me a perception check.
Okay.
A disadvantage because you're asleep.
Flat roll. All right.
Still gets higher than me and Mina combined.
Normal. 18.
Ilferi, you hear a rattling at your door,
Ooh.
and then you see a small slip of metal slide under the door.
Wait, was it the hook that I put in the web? Shit, I'm going after it.
Okay, it's just like a little square of flat metal on the ground.
Oh, slid under my door. I thought you said slid out of my door. Got it.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
it. Yeah, I'll pick up that slip of metal.
Okay, it has etched into it. Meeting Nick, follow me.
Meeting Nick, follow me. With no signature?
That's all it says.
Shit. Okay, I go out.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Man, this bed is comfy.
Can I cast Pass Without Trace first?
Sure.
Okay. Plus 10. Uh, 19.
Okay. You open the door slowly and peek outside, and you see, Grappa Leone just turning the corner.
Grappa X Leon.
I will follow Grappa X Leon.
It seems like it's about an hour before dawn at this point.
It's just me out in the hallway right now, right?
Yeah.
Or me and him. I'm gonna pull the hook out of the web and look at Leon with it.
Okay.
I get Grappa's background or Leon's background.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. That's plus 11 right now. $28.
This is 100% Grappa.
Okay, good. And then I'll put the hook away back in the web.
Okay.
Oh, that metal plate, did it say Ilferi or did it say Bruce?
It didn't.
Oh, okay.
It just said, meeting Nick, follow me.
Got it.
So he goes down the hallway of the West Wing, and ends up walking past some guards to the to Nicodemus's meeting room at W.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep following.
Okay, there are some guards posted.
Oh, right.
Here and here. Or actually, sorry, no, not just here.
Can you ping it one more time? Sorry.
Here and here.
Gotcha. Easiest thing would be to like turn into some sort of little bug and just like crawl past him, but that might be a little too slow. I'm just gonna try and convince one to just let me pass. Like, I just need a little bit of as close to fresh air as I can get out here. 30?
Well, we can definitely escort you to the outdoors if you need some air. But
No, this is fine. This is fine. Just let me. I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
The West Wing is off limits, and Mr. Nicodemus is having a meeting at the moment.
Right. I didn't know other people were supposed to know about that meeting. That's where I'm heading to right now.
You're definitely not on the list. Hey, Nick, is this guy supposed to be here?
No, I'm gonna stand confidently. Like
Okay.
I was invited.
Okay. Nicodemus walks over. Ah, Mr. Druid, I wasn't expecting anyone to be up at this hour. I'm just having a quick meeting with some of the faction heads here. You're already awake. Perhaps you can find some breakfast down in the kitchen or some coffee.
Oh, I had gotten an invitation. I thought that someone wanted me to represent their faction or something.
What faction are you representing?
The Trekkers.
The Trekkers are, last I had been aware, headed by the other guy.
Oh. What nationality is that name?
Cardinal
Oh.
Testamenta Sotor. Is he
Yeah.
given up
He's
his...
currently talking to some other organizations and asked me to represent them for this specific meeting.
Roll me a deception.
Okay. 22.
I see. That's very peculiar. I don't believe this meeting pertains to your interests. But I don't know how you received an invitation. But we won't be requiring your...
I could just stay on the sidelines. I think they just wanted me to, collect some information for them, see, what factions seem to be leaning more towards something we can latch onto.
They were not invited to this meeting. Only myself, Han, Kula, and Leon. And Vikemi to represent the Ghost Council. Now, if you'll please make your way back downstairs to the kitchen, I'm sure there's some pastries that you can enjoy.
Right. I seem to have been tricked into this. I am very sorry for wasting your time. And I will leave and then try to come back as a spider.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's another stealth check of some sort.
Yeah. You just like duck around the corner somewhere and
Yeah, duck around the corner. I'm still like hiding because I have my pass without trace, and then once I'm like out of eyesight of anyone, do I have shit? I don't have my spider on here. I think they're like +2. So we'll just take my stealth -1. +9. I added 9 instead of 10, so 27.
okay. So you walk into the room as your spider.
Mhm.
As Nicodemus is rolling out a map on a table there.
Okay. I'm gonna try and get myself at least attached to Leon Grappa.
Okay.
Just I want him to be my way out.
Okay. Cool. So he rolls out a map of the continent of Langier and has some like a jar of glass beads that he places down as he talks. Since the Colossus broke free 8 months ago, places a bead on flint. It has wandered through the dreaming. Since it was designed to resist divination, we can't tell exactly where it is, but it's left massive footprints visible in the real world. Through Reeser's wetlands, places a bead, to the High Bayou bead. It knocked the top off of a mountain in the border of Reeser and Bear, bead. Trumped across the desert towards the east coast, bead. And disappeared somewhere near Seabricha, bead. Han asks, Is the Colossus designed to operate underwater? And Grappa nods. Indeed it was. Vikemi explains that they wondered why the Colossus chose that particular path, and now we have a theory. At the same time, the Colossus escaped a high elf warrior, Azerby. Kula rolls her eyes. Abducted Kasfarina and spirited her away to the dreaming. Fairly certain that Azerby thought Kasfarina was just a hostage, not one of the founders of this conspiracy. And given her condition, we hope that she cannot compromise us. And Nicodemus nods. Yes, and her being still an officer, we cannot divine her location either. But we've been able to trace Azerby. We assume that the two have remained together. They headed to L5R and disappeared entirely near some old elven ruins. Places another bead We believe that it's an entrance to an elven enclave which exists between the real world and the dreaming. That was 5 months ago. Just a few days ago, colossal footprints were spotted in the jungle near those ruins. Vakimi says, our theory is that somehow the Colossus is drawn to Casfarina, perhaps because their memories were both locked away by the same man. So far, we've refrained from rescuing Casfarina since the risk of an assault on an elven enclave is deemed too high, especially since she has no memories and thus can't actually be useful to the conspiracy. Now, though, it makes sense to secure her. Nicodemus says we have a plan to retrieve the Colossus from the dreaming, but it requires bringing the Titan to a specific location. He looks meaningfully at Han. Han curses and nods. Nicodemus says that our first priority after the convocation ends will be to regain control of the Colossus. We still have a few of the prototype golems that were put away for a rainy day, and if we can't find a way to restore the mind of the Colossus, we can try implanting one of the other golems' minds. Leon, do you think you'd be able to manually control the Colossus? Grappa stammers for a moment. Says, no, I believe it'd be too much for me. Nicodemus replies, we'll keep Leon in hand just in case, to help at least slow the thing down. I want a dossier of vulnerable points of the target, and it might be time to start coming up with fallback options if the new Colossus minds won't work. Kula says, you probably find out what enclave Casfarina is in. She needs to know what resources she can bring in order to rescue Casfarina. What resources I need to rescue Casfarina. Nick holds up a hand and says, we shouldn't make plans until we know who's on our side. If anyone has any pressing business, does anyone here have any pressing business? No one says anything. Continues on. Well, I suggest we get a filling breakfast. I think it's going to be a long day. Han, Kula, and Grappa stand to leave. Nicodemus calls, Leon, will you wait back for a moment?
Oh no.
After the others have left, he says, what faction are you thinking of voting for? Grappa says, the Watchmakers. Nicodemus and Vakemi exchange glances, and after a moment's hesitation, Nick says, I hope that you keep an open mind for other more popular proposals today. Be on your way. And Grappa leaves.
Okay. I am leaving with him. So I'm like on his leg or something. Hopefully it didn't startle him.
As you look back, you see Nicodemus light a cigarette and stand to look out the bay windows on the side of the manor up at the dark sky. And that's where we'll wrap up for tonight.
Ooh.
All right.
Yoki.
I'm glad that he reached out to me as the only person that could have feasibly gotten into that meeting.
How fucking dare you? Wizard!
No, honestly, I thought I was going to be able to talk my way in. I was rolling nat 20 after
Yeah,
nat 20.
right? I was like,
it
it's
just
like you're very convincing, but there's not like a reason for you to be here.
yeah. I need some fresh air inside of the boss's office.
I definitely missed where I was going.
Union inspection.
if there
Yeah.
was a way for you to succeed there, you would
Yeah.
have. But
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure I received an invitation, said to the man who sent out the invitations.
Look, I got
I got
CC'd
your invitation.
Look, I got CC'd on this email. I don't know what's going on any more than you do.
Yeah. Oh,
all right.
we're so fucked.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll be back next time with the continuation of this story.
Oh,
Bye,
man.
everybody.
We get to go to Elfland.
Oh no.